to Valerie Wallace Fine Arts here in Orono, Maine, 04473 in my basement studio, and it's 8 o'clock on Friday, June 26th, maybe? And tonight we're going to do this version of Rosie the Riveter, or the I Can Do It, or We Can Do It. We Can Do It. Poster from the 40s. We'll talk about it. And what else was I going to say? Can't remember. I can't remember what I just said. I don't know what I'm going to say. Yeah, by Tim Okamura. And I listened to some stuff, and I got some things. I know a little bit about him now, so it's going to be fun. Okay. Everybody ready? So you can do this any way that you want to do it. I'm going to do two. I'm feeling like one, I'm going to kind of help you to see how you draw, put the things together, how you look at the proportions and stuff. But I feel like maybe here I'll just do it a little simpler so that, you know, for everybody to be able to follow along, okay? But I'll do a little here and a little bit here, but maybe I won't, I'll make it so that it doesn't matter so much. Because, you know, obviously, you know, nose, mouth, face, eyes, it's a person, okay? We don't have to have it look like this girl. We can have it look like anybody we want to. The one thing that does happen is that there's a lot in this picture, and we want to fit it on the page, okay? So I have to try to not to go too big. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with her chin, which top to bottom is about in the middle, I would say. And this is probably the middle of my paper, so we're a little bit to the left, okay? And I'm going to start with a brown. If you can start with something really light, it'll be easy to erase and to kind of move things around. But if I do something light, you won't be able to see it, and that kind of defeats the purpose. Okay? So I'm finding the middle. I'm going to go over just a little bit, and I'm going to give a mark for her chin. You make a nice light mark. I'm going to make it a little bit darker so you can see it. Okay? That's how we're going to start. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw the side of her face here, okay? And we want to have it be a little bit of a soft curve. But if it's a little rounder, she'll just look a little rounder in the face. If it's a little narrower, she's just going to look a little narrower. It's no big deal, okay? And to figure out where, I'm not exactly sure what to tell you, but you want to leave a nice section of the headpiece up here. So anyway, I'm going to go around here. I'm going to eye it up. Something I can change. And I'm going to bring a line down that just kind of curves towards that. Okay? So far, so good. Down here, I'm going to do sort of the same thing. I'm finding the middle. I'm going to go over this way just a little. I'm going to give a little mark for the chin, and then I'm just going to kind of draw the side of her face. Okay? We're not going to do any of the stuff over here just yet. I practiced to help it be easy. We'll see how it goes. Okay? I wish I had a smaller one. I don't have any good red ones, so I'm going to have to use this brown one, but I want a little bit smaller. We're going to start with her mouth, okay? And her face is turned to the side. If you don't keep this in mind, it will look like a Picasso where the things aren't all lined up, a cubist, but that's okay. But that's not what we're going for. We're going to start with her mouth. See how her mouth touches the side of her face? You're going to draw a line kind of like this that touches her face. That touches the side of her face. This is the middle of her lips. It goes a little bit longer than her chin. So bring it over a little bit, okay? And then you're going to draw, a little piece like this and a little piece like this. The one on the left is going to be a little bit bigger. Okay? And then what you do underneath is you make a nice, wide smile, okay? But it needs to be touching this side of her face. Okay, the next, is that good? Is that hard? What do you think, Veronica? Is it already hard? Don't. Let me see what you did.
I just think that my chin was too long, because I can't make her, if I make her mouth longer than her chin, it will be...
Oh, well then don't. Yeah, don't necessarily go by that, because, we don't know how long we made this line. It's just a rough idea. Okay? But if you stretch the line, don't worry, you're going to color over it anyway, because she has nice dark skin. So that'll be nice and forgiving. Okay? All right. The next thing we're going to do is her nose. Now she's lifting her chin because she's strong and powerful, and that makes you see a little bit of the underside of her nose, which is also creating a shadow. So what we're going to do with that is that we're going to make kind of a sharp rainbow, all right? And this side of the rainbow lines up right about here on her lip. It's going to go up a little bit, and the other side is about the peak of her Cupid's bow. So you're going to make a line kind of like this. I know it seems crazy, but that's what I want you to do, okay? And they'll all be different depending on how far you make it away from her mouth, but you want to probably get it up there a little bit, okay? And what we'll do, let's color in the upper lip here, and we're going to color this under this part of the nose, and I want you to make a little bit underneath it too, kind of like in a little triangle. I know it looks stupid, it looks like a snowman's face, but that's okay, all right? Bear with me, believe me, I think it's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to do it right about here, I'm going to make it go up, I'm going to color that in, and then I'm going to make it go down a little bit, so it looks kind of like a circle for now. Okay, all right. Whatever you take turn this person in, it's going to be fine. It's just going to look like a woman, or maybe a guy, or whatever, that has a face turned, okay? And it's a fun thing it's a good thing to learn how to do. Okay, I'd say it was fun. All right. Now, we're going to go to the eye, okay? The outside of the eye is going to touch her face, but the inside of her eye kind of lines up with the middle of this nose. So what this is roughly what you want to do. You go to the top of your nose and make an arch that hits the side of her face like that. Okay? Like I said, if you are smart, or if you're a good listener, you are drawing lightly, because you're probably like, what? That looks ridiculous. Okay? But it won't look ridiculous if you start light. Okay.
Looks like a clown.
It does totally look like a clown. Okay. Now, do you see this line right here that's a dark line that runs right down the side of her nose? Okay? We don't know exactly where we're going to put her forehead yet, but you're going to bring a line that runs just like this. Okay? Right next to her eye. Okay? See how it touches where her corner of her eye is? Okay. Alright. We're going to give her, we have this arch of her eye here. You're going to go over and do the one on the other side. And it's farther out than her nose, okay? That corner of her nose, if you can do it like that. Okay, so you're going to go like this. Oops, I hope they're even.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Better now, they weren't.
Alright, I'll bring this one a little lower, take this one a little higher. She has nice eyelids anyway. Okay, because she's looking down. She's giving a little of that side eye. Okay? Let's go ahead and make the bottom of her eye. And I'm going to make it darker later, but for now I'm going to give her some eye that's on the side of her eyes, right? We want her looking over the shoulder. Okay? Oh, let me see. How am I going to do that? I'm going to bring this down a little. That's all right. It won't matter. Okay. So I'll do that here. I'm going to make another arch, and then I'm going to do the bottoms, which are flatter, but it doesn't matter how you do it. Okay? Don't make her iris or pupil or whatever, don't make it too small. It'll look like she's, like turning her eyes into her head. Gross. I hate that stuff. Okay? Oh, that looks funny, doesn't it? Oh, that's all right. That's all right, it's going to work. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to all right, yeah, I know it. We're starting right here. Right in the corner of her eye, she goes down like this to about where her mouth is. So you make a line that goes right straight down, and then I want you to connect it over to her chin. Okay? Right right near her eyes, right straight down to her mouth, and then you're going to connect over, okay? All right, now above, on her forehead, let's say she has her eyebrows, and she has them up kind of a little bit, because it's part of her expression. She's going to up like this. Give her a couple of eyebrows. And then she needs a little forehead. So for now, just make a line that comes across, like, give her a little forehead, go up a little bit like that. And what you want to do is connect from here to here. Okay? So hopefully, this line comes at an angle a little bit. Okay? All right? Oops, let me do it down here. How are we doing, Veronica?
Well, you know.
Is it a hot mess?
It's there.
All right. Well, you're not crying. That's good. Okay. Okay. We're going to do it. We're going to give her neck. See this part of her neck? She's nice long neck, too. This part of her neck is very close to the front of her chin. So you're going to do that right here. And then the other part, she's going to have a little bit of an ear that shows right about here. And her neck is going to come from there. Okay? Actually, if anything, the front line of her neck is a little bit longer than the back because of the way her shirt goes. Okay? So there. This one, yeah, I'll just do the same thing here because I said I wasn't going to overthink this one. Okay. All right. Then, what's important is there's a line that comes, there's a part of her nose that goes kind of like that. I kind of did screw this up a little bit, I think. But anyway, you need a little bit that comes here, and then this comes down towards the outside of her cheek, and she has a curve here. Okay? So where you have this funny little, this is what we want to do too, is that we're going to be dividing this kind of like that. But there's going to be a little curve right here, and then it's going to be a line here. Okay? And then she has a nice cheekbone. All right? Okay. Let's do this. Okay? What I want to have you have is, there's going to be a connection right here, but I want you to bring a little line like that, because that's some of her head cloth on the side of her head. And don't look at anything except this. Okay? And what happens is we go out a little bit, and then we drop down and go up. Okay? And it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but the one thing you want is you don't want a skimpy head cloth scarf. Okay? It goes out a little bit, comes down and up, and then there's a piece that goes like this and over. It doesn't matter how this is, but have a piece that hangs out over her side, and see if you can get it to come down. If yours is loopy or wavy or curly or whatever, it's all good. Okay? But it just needs to be pretty good size. This is huge. This knot here is huge, okay? It is as big as her face. So measure the size that you have made the face and go up here. I can't even fit it on here. And think about kind of a big circle. Don't worry that it looks funny. You have to start somewhere. Every line you put down can't be perfect. No one is made that way. You just have to start, okay? But we do want this piece that comes up, all right? And then we're looking at the distance from right here to this part of her head, right? Okay, so if I measure that, that's equal to from her nose to the tip of her chin. So if I go from here, that's telling me I want to go about here, okay? And this goes all the way out around to her neck, okay? Ooh, still, my floor still wants to come off. So I have connected here. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to go out and make a little point that comes down. And then I'll bring that back over this way. I'm going to measure whatever the size of my girl's face is. I'm going to put that up there, and that's going to be a big ball. And then I'm going to connect from up here all the way down like this. All right? Mm-hmm. So this is the weird part. This is the weird thing that I did. And when I use the other color of pastel, I'm going to be able to go over a little bit. But just so any kind of eraser. What it is that this curve on her nose is not quite so curvy. It's a little bit, comes down a little bit. So if I can take a little bit off of this so that the shape is a little more, a little like this, that'll work a little bit better, okay? And her nostrils are here. This is going to be a shadow. The shadow will blend it in and it won't matter. So if you can do that, great. I mean, I can't get it all right. You know, nobody said I was all that much of an expert. I guess I'm pretending I am, but. Okay. So far, so good. We're going to leave this here. We're going to do the rest of her, and then we're going to do a little coloring, shading, and all that stuff, okay? Which it will just keep getting better and better and better. All right. I'm going to stick with this brown. This is a little bit weird, but if you don't look at anything else that's here, what you see is there's one finger, which looks kind of like what, Veronica?
Her pointer finger.
What's it look like, though? What's a shape?
Oval.
Yeah.
Rectangle.
Yeah. Or a rectangle. We'll go with a rectangle. Maybe you want to curve the top and the bottom. That's great. But if you don't, it's fine. And the rest of it, it's cut off on the bottom by her collar, so that's just a diagonal line. And then the rest of it is just kind of a piece that goes around like this, and then we add on a little wrist after we do this other arm. Now in this picture, which the original is huge, this is a really, really big arm, okay? Can you see it? Because, I mean, if I put my arm up there, I mean, it's huge from here to here. But the guy knows what he's doing. I mean, it's not by accident that he wants that arm to be there and be fierce, okay? If you make it a little bit smaller, then that's still going to work. Okay, so let's do this. You're going to start with her collar, and you're going to draw a line that comes diagonally just to the front of her neck, okay? Go down a little bit, and then bring another little bit of it like this, okay? But don't go further than her neck. I wouldn't even think that you needed this hand, but I'm going to hopefully, like I said, make it easy for you, okay? The thing is that the size of this finger is, you know, from her chin to her mouth. I mean, it's good size. And if anything, make it bigger. Don't make it too little. You don't want little tiny hands. I love big hands. I think it's cool.
I got big hands.
Your Aunt Michelle has really big hands. I love it. Okay. So it starts up a little bit, up above the shirt, and then it crosses into it. So what you do is you just make a nice rectangle like this, okay? That one's going to be on the outside, all right? That's all you have to do. It won't be perfect. Tim did not make this perfect, but no one cares. It's awesome, right? I mean, you know, maybe, actually, I listened to a lot of, I listened to him today, and he seems like a really, really nice guy.
Tim Okamura?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Just seemed like a great guy. I don't listen to stuff like that very often, but I did. Okay, so then we're going to take this a little farther, like this. Okay? Bring it down a little bit, because we have to fit some of this hand here. Okay, we're going to go like that. Okay? Now all the rest of what's happening with the hand is all on the other side of the arm. So we're just going to leave that for now. We'll come back to it. Take this, and the size of the armhole is big. Okay? Like the size of her face. Size of her face. This is where I'm going to start it. I'm going to bring a line way down like that. Okay? That might be bigger than you need, that's all right. And we want to do her back, so it's going to come from here. Okay? I hope the people joining did not spend too long having Friday afternoon club, because you're probably not drawing anymore. Or maybe you're drawing something else at this point. That's a lot of instructions, but I wanted to find a really strong black woman to draw, and you know, there's so many choices, and I couldn't really figure out what to do, and then this struck me, and then of course you can do it any way that you want to. Okay. So it looks very, very funny, but this is going to work. Trust me. All right. We're going to do this upper part of her arm. So you're going to take this line, try to save some room. So I'm going to bring it over about this far, and then, you know, like again, she's got a big arm. And it's kind of the important part of the picture, so you don't want it skimpy. So then you're going to like this, and then we will go from here. This one is a little narrower at the wrist, so if you can go like this. All right? It looks like an arm, right? It's gonna keep getting better. How you doing? I can't see it at all. I couldn't help you. Okay. Let's look at this hand, and then we're gonna then we'll do the fingers, and then we'll start coloring, and everything's gonna like come together. Okay. All right. Hopefully you have room. If you run out of room in this space here, you don't have enough space between you and the headpiece, and you might want to draw it over it, because it is in front, but, okay, don't look at anything else, don't look at this little line, and you see what happens is it just kind of goes wider, right? Mm-hmm. All right, and it doesn't matter what the angle is, okay? It's tilting towards, you know, up and to this side, but if you tilt it a little bit a different way, that's fine, okay? So I'm going to look at this wrist, and I'm going to think about this angle. So it goes kind of up like this, and then it kind of goes over like that. And on the inside of her wrist, it kind of starts here, and it kind of gets a little wider. Okay? All right, so up and over, and then getting a little wider at the top. Okay? For the most part, I think what we can do is just kind of round this, like an ice cream cone. Might not be exactly, but it will be close enough, I think. Okay? That working? Mm-hmm. All right. Then what happens is she has a couple of these darker places in there. So what's happening is there's this is her thumb. So you just kind of make a piece that goes kind of like that. To be thinking it's similar to the size of that hot dog we have sitting there. Okay, so it's just kind of like that. And then what happens is there is a finger here, and there's an extra dark spot like this. And then what would happen is she'd have a little bit of, she'd have 4 knuckles. I know it looks weird, but if you've got that, what does this look like? Oh, an S.
Backwards S.
How's backwards S?
It's like a rounded tube.
It does look like, kind of like an S. That'll work, okay? And then if you can, I mean, she doesn't have 7 knuckles up there. She's got 4. So there would be, you know, this one is her finger, 2, 3, whatever, kind of like that. Okay? Oh, now we're going to do the hand. So then, you know, don't look at anything here. What we're going to do is this. We're going to make, we're just going to go from here like this, and you're going to put 2 lines like that, and then just kind of bring this down like this. Okay? If you can bump these up, that'll be good too, but okay? It'll be good enough. Except for the perfectionist, but you know, nothing ever is in that case, so that's alright. That's your own journey. Alright? Let's see what it looks like. She needs a little more up here, I think. Okay. Okay. Depending depending on what color skin tone that you're working with, choose the color that is the dark color that you're going to use, okay? I am going to use, now, I'm going to use my, this reddish brown, okay? See how from her nose there's a line that goes all the way to her forehead and this whole piece of her face is dark, except maybe the whites of her eyes. So you're going to take her nose and you're going to draw that line right up like this. And this would be the thing is, you know, even if you're a little heavy-handed, you're not trying to color. There's Sue Loretano's out there, and Sophie.
She was.
Were they? You're not trying to color a hole through your paper. You're just trying to color it in. So not so heavy. And then you're going to come right down here on the cheek, like this. Okay? This one I didn't do the eyebrows on. It comes right off the side of the nose. Okay, that's going to give you that, where your mouth comes forward off your face a little bit. Okay? And then, where else is she dark?
Her neck and her
Neck.
cheek.
Yep. So let's do this. We can color the whole thing in for the most part. Probably even her ear over here too. Okay. All right. Where else, Veronica?
Under her arm, her tricep area.
Where else on her face?
Oh, her. I already said her cheek.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. So her cheek, right under her lip here. So right here, in that nice, beautiful cheekbone. Okay. And it connects right here. I didn't leave a very big chin, but you leave a little oval of light right on her chin. But the rest of this you can get shaded in. You can go right over there to her lip. Okay? Ooh. Yeah, the guy, Tim, is Canadian, and his mom is from Newfoundland, and his dad is Japanese, and he's been drawing black women for, he said, I don't know, 20-something years. I think he's around my age. And he said, I think he just loves them, but at the same time he was like, because they don't get it, they haven't been featured in beautiful portraits as much as they should, so that's not one of it. I wish I hadn't.
He's a nice man.
He was really like just a regular nice guy, but he can like make really, really good pictures. But he was looking, he'd like to have a child. So, you know, if you're out there interested. Okay. All right, so, where am I going on, where else? Where'd you say on the arm?
The neck. Oh, yeah, the arm.
We did the neck.
Oh, yeah, the under the arm.
This part. Okay. All right, under, yeah, right in here. Right here, usually this line, because it's a little, if it's turned forward a little bit versus this way, this will cut across the bicep a little bit. We have a little here, and definitely most of the lower part of this hand, right? Okay. We could do this. All right. What do you think? How's that coming? And I also listened to a Smithsonian report on the actual poster, and that the one everybody knows, the We Can Do It, was by, oh, now I can't remember the guy's name, but he didn't have, but I think it was before Norman Rockwell, you know who that is?
Yeah.
He did one, and it was like on the paper, but there were so many not privacy, but rights that publishing rights that no one could copy it, and so that's why we all know the other one. But the one that Norman Rockwell did is just the bomb. The woman is so badass, you would not believe it. She's like totally big and strong and leaning back, and they compared it to a guy in the Sistine Chapel ceiling. I forget one of the saints, and she's in exactly the same pose, and she's like really rugged and dirty and got all of her equipment on, but then she also has makeup on and like such very like strong and masculine and feminine, and it's like really cool. It's fun. All right. What I'm going to do with the black and white one is I'm going to just smudge this in. And yeah. If you're drawing in charcoal and you need to get a little darker with something, then color something you know that's very dark and use that. Like I can probably color this a little bit darker and spread that over there. Another arm here. Okay. I want to give her the eyebrows down here. What else did I learn about it? Oh, I learned what a riveter was. You know what a riveter is?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you in just a second. So, I'm going to pick the lighter color that I'm going to use with this, which I'm going to use kind of a golden brownish color. It is actually pretty light. I colored on here a little bit because it was so dark and the print was terrible. But I mean, really, this is kind of where we're at. But I'm going to use a little bit of both. Okay? A riveter is, I guess it was like a two-person job, and one would blow the rivets into the wings of the planes, you know, the fighter planes for the war. This is World War II. And then the other chick would, I forget what they called her, but she had a big metal rod, and somehow she like beat the metal together between the rivets. And a rivet is like a fastener bringing two pieces of metal together. And so the one who had to do the shooting the rivets in there was the more accurate one, but the one who had to like beat it with the rod was like the stronger. It was a hard job. Okay, so here what I want to do is I want to get over that little bit here. I want to disguise this nose a little bit like that. Yeah, and I guess started out with a song about Rosie the Riveter, and then Norman Rockwell did his picture, and then the other guy did his picture, but I can't think of his name. So I'm going to put a little this nice to make it have a nice honey colored skin here. I'm going to accent this a little here. Accent this with a little black, I think, too. I don't think I'm really going to deal with the background on this one, just because it's a lot more extra time. This is taking a while. Okay. So her lip here, I mean, her lip is kind of purpley. I think if I kind of smudge this brown a little bit with this light color, that'll keep it nice and light. And that's going to help make it look like her lower lip kind of sticks out a little bit and catches the light, which is pretty much what happens with everybody. I don't know if you can, I don't know if the lighting is right like that for me, but that's usually what happens. That's how you get shape to your mouth. So even if you're just want to draw faces any way you want to, just keep that in mind. I think maybe I'll put a little of this here. That bumps me out. Something's weird. Okay, here. hand. I got that. And, alright, so what I want to do with this nose too is I'm going to take a little bit of white. So I'm trying to get this little bit here. What's happening is more like this. Okay, it's coming around that little part of your nostril. Bring that up the front of her nose. I'm just going to hit the lightest parts on her with a little white here, here on her cheek. Okay? And on this chin. Okay? Yeah, and get this to come over a little bit more, maybe. It's a little weird, but that's alright. I got her eyes sticking out here a little bit too far. Let me see. Oh, I like it. She is strong.
I know, it's huge.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's what we're doing with this picture. That's fine. Okay. So to do this headdress, this is kind of what I would do is take something dark. You could use black, but actually I'm going to use this dark purple. I'm going to use a little bit of black at the end anyway, just because there is quite a bit in here. But I want to help, I know it's going to be dark here, it's going to be dark right around her neck, but a purple will be nice with the red. I'm going to use the red too. There's, this part is coming in here and it's kind of going around and up, so whatever, don't worry about how you do it. Drawing's cloth but you just want it big. Don't be too skimpy or it will look like she's got something wrong with her head. Yeah, no, that looks good. That looks good, Veronica, nice. Of course, I can't see it all. I'm going to bring some lines that go up like this. That's kind of to help bring it up. Yeah, and then maybe in here I'll bring something like that. Okay? Here, I'm going to intensify these lines. And this, maybe bring it over. Okay? This I'll just kind of smudge in. I wanted to, actually, if I bring her eyelid down a little on the top, add a little extra, that'll get her to get that, I'm not taking any crap look. Okay? And, she's here, she has a little bit of, her nostrils are here. And what we want is for the lower part to look like a shadow. That's alright. That's kind of how it works. Yeah. I know it's hard to draw a shadow of a nose like that. You think it's not important, but it is important. What was the one, the Dracula that has a huge shadow under his nose, and it makes it look like the nose, because it's so black and white, it makes the nose pop right off his face. Okay. So if you want to share your picture with me, I would love it. If you're just sick of doing crap on the computer and you just don't want to deal with it anymore, I understand. Let's do it with a shirt. What you want to do is, you want to have the collar. You want it to look like she has a, I think what's happening is maybe the collar goes to here, and then this part is her sleeve that she's pulling up a little bit with her fingers. So you're going to bring this down. Maybe have a nice little dark thing like this. And then these are coming down kind of like that. Okay, and maybe even her shoulder. Okay? What was I saying?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, if you don't want to show me a picture. But I would love to see it if you do that. I haven't gotten many. Tammy sent me some pictures. She did such a great job. I haven't got so many lately. Everything's kind of fading away. But I know people are still watching. They're just I don't know. Maybe they're just watching. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, what was the other thing? Oh, I know. One thing you could do is share the video on you could share it right on your timeline, and then like your friends see it, and that would be really sweet and helpful to me to just share it and reach out so that it reaches some more people, because that's hard for me to like keep sending it to people and then have them go, I didn't know you were doing that. So that's a big help, because I'm just not really promoting it anymore. So that'd be great. And down here, if you do, you know, get your stimulus check or whatever, and you want to send me $10, $5, $1, whatever, you can do that. The link is right there on the below the video, and go to my website, or you just go to my website and check it out. And then I can come and make a mural for you. Veronica, I didn't tell you I'm going to do another mural in Bideford.
Oh, you are going to do the one of the blimp?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm going to do it in a man cave.
What? It's like at someone's house?
Oh. It's going to be fun.
When are you
It's
doing
going to be fun and cool. And I'm excited because I'm really into practicing my skies. I'm going to do some more. I have a feeling like maybe she needs body.
Yeah,
here.
I wasn't like really sure about that either.
Yeah, I think if anything, you might have a little blousey. It might make sense for you to have the front of her body under here. Okay? Alright, the last thing I'm going to do is put a little black on her face there, on some of her features. Okay? Yeah, I'm alright with that. Okay. Eyebrows. Okay, I've got a little pastel here. And she does have them up, and that's part of the look. If they were down and she was looking over her shoulder, it'd be a different look, okay? She does have, her lid is lowered a little bit, right? Watch me do that now and see how that changes her expression, right? I brought it down a little bit. Nothing like just, if you love to draw faces on your own, just try to put the eyes doing different things. Only don't have them looking in opposite directions, unless you want that. But just have them look to the side, look up,
She's a
look
boss
down.
ass bee.
She is. She's awesome. Okay, so right in here, I'm having a nostril. That's what's happening. And probably another one like right over here. And then I'm going to hit this line here. I'm going to give her just a little bit of a line that goes up. I like it. I can't see, I mean, I don't know what it looks like from more than 6 inches away, but, and yeah, and I'm going to hit these lines here maybe again. Give it some scribbles on there, look at like it has a print. I remember this this singer, Erykah Badu, years and years and years ago, did a duet like on the Grammys, and she looked so cool, and she had on a headpiece. I mean, she was teeny tiny, and she had it was like this big. I still remember it. It was really cool. I think she did it with Wyclef Jean. I don't remember what it was, and I loved it.
Yeah, they are cool, but they always, oh man, their neck must be.
I'm going to hit this right here. Well, I mean, it's just a scarf.
Yeah, it looks
You got a lot of hair. You got a lot of hair. If you wrapped it all up.
It does, it hurts my neck. When it's in a bun.
Oh, yeah. We've got the problem that when we take a bun out, our hair still sticks up like that for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it never recovers.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit it right here, too. What do you think? The other thing, and the other thing I was going to say is that Timothy Okamura said that he is really into headscarves, and so like that was just something that he particularly liked. He didn't. This is what he said. He said that he saw like Beyonce did one, and she like put the scarf on, but then her hair was still hanging out, and he was like, I think that it shouldn't be hanging out, so I'm gonna do a different one. He was really nice. And then this is the really funny thing. I thought Tim was gonna be watching. I was gonna tell him is that he now just recently started doing black hockey players because he's from Canada. Oh. And he was just like, hockey is just a huge part of my life, and he just like he want to represent these people who it's been a struggle to get to be able to be in the NHL and stuff.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Next week, Tuesday morning, probably Friday night. I'm not going to be able to do it on Thursday. What do you think? Can I hold up your picture?
Sure.
That's so cool. Look at that.
Oh my god. That's enormous.
Look at it.
Holy.
But I mean, it's great because it really looks like she's coming like this. It's almost, it's a cartoony. Look at that neck. We can do it. Way to go. All right. Thank you. I'll give you a close-up to finish out on, and thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. You know. Hey, Jennifer Shirley. I'm going to wave at you. It says David Gifford, not whatever you said.
David Gifford?
Yeah.
Who's David Gifford?
It's Maddie Gifford's dad. Olivia. Oh my God, I love Olivia. She's hysterical. Isn't she?
She is.
Olivia Robin. Watch her on Facebook. Funny, funny, funny.